Alright, so this is my third attempt at recording this video because the other two versions were way too long and included way more stuff than I actually needed to talk about. So all I wanted to go over really is these boot covers that I made for my Halloween costume. So this is one of them. So it has 3 plates to it. They are shiny gold. They actually look shinier in the camera than they did in real life. And then behind they have this layer of sort of leathery looking stuff, which is painted vinyl. I used really cheap spray paint, so it came out kind of sticky. And then there's just 2 Velcro pieces on each plate to hold it in place. So this video really is not to talk about like this great thing that I made, because this is what I made, and here's what I was starting with as a design. So this is an initial design for Kiro's armor suit. And his armor is for joint reinforcement, not necessarily for overall protection. So it's ankles and wrists and back, that sort of thing. So I decided that the boots were the most recognizable part of the costume, so that's what I would try to make a simple version of, and this is a very simple version of it. I'll be redesigning a lot of things. Having an arch to this lower plate would have helped with the foot movement so that the plates wouldn't shift so much. And of course I made these straps. When I took the thing apart, I cut off all the excess material, and then I made a template, just took a pencil and sketched out a template with little fold over edges, and sewed those together, and sewed a piece of Velcro and hot glued it to each one. And that's what these straps are. So I made them out of the spare material that I had left over from trimming up the rest of it. I had to hand stitch all these edges back together again after I took it apart, and that took forever, like 8.5 hours or something like that. Something ridiculous. So that was kind of a pain. But that's how they turned out. And so I had some pictures of the process, making the plates. I ended up gluing together. I bought this. I could not get EVA foam, which is what I wanted to use. So instead, I found at Walmart these foam sheets. This is like 2mm craft foam, and so I ended up going into an auto parts store and buying an auto adhesive and gluing 4 layers together in order to get the thickness that I wanted. Then I used a cheap hair dryer to shape those into the curve. I ended up also testing Plasti-Dip as a finish, but it didn't really do anything. So it would have been better to just use primer and sand in addition to the coats of watered down Elmer's glue that I used. So I used 2 parts glue to 1 part water and brushed on 5 or 6 layers, although I really could have used probably 8 to 10 to get an actual kind of glossy finish. I didn't get to sand as much as I wanted either, but even so, I mean, it still turned out pretty shiny, but it would have been cool to have kind of a mirror finish on it. So that's kind of what I had hoped I would be able to make. So not this time, but the next time around I can. I also got a Dremel that I didn't end up using for fine detail, so that'll be added. And I want to put in straps over the front of each plate. So I've got some big plans for that. I also I printed off this thing that I made. I'll probably frame it and have it hung up somewhere, but this cost like $1.70 to have printed on 80-pound paper. It was 11 by 17. I cut down by 11 by 16 to fit the frame that I have. But that's a super easy process. I can go and upload the file online to the FedEx down the road and just have them print out on 80-pound paper, and it's a poster. So I'll probably be doing more of those sorts of things in the future.